Welcome to Marvel Hero Hunters, a website which uses Marvel API to allow you to search for heroes and mark them as favorites. So, if you can click on search, and if you haven't put anything, it will ask you to search for a name. And let's say if you type any gibberish, it should complain that maybe nothing is found. But if there is something, then it will give you the results. And this is the list of all the matched entries. You can mark these entries to favorites, and you can notice that this entry is already in my favorite, so it can only be removed like this. And if you click any of these, then it will open the detail page of that superhero for you with their comics and series info if it exists. So you can see the grid view. Also, you can remove from here because this is a favorite, so you can remove it from the favorites. This web page is also responsive. You can see the comics and series as two separate columns, but if the screen is small enough, the series part will go underneath the columns. Also, your favorites superheroes is persisted as in the memory, like here. These are all the superheroes which you have. Also, we store which superhero you clicked, so that that page can be opened from using this entry. You can also see your favorite list of superheroes in this web page, which you mark as favorite, and of course you can remove your from your favorites, and this will get updated. That concludes the demo. In terms of the code, we have three different HTML pages, one for the search bar related page, one for the favorites superheroes page, and the other for the superhero information page. So for the search bar page, we have the header navigation, which is also in other web pages. Then we have that section where search bar is there. Then we have the search results, which will be basically an unordered list using this common template to render all the different search results. This similar approach is followed in favorites, where we have a favorite list, which is again using a template. And again, in our superhero web page, we have for the comics and the series of any superhero, again a template. So each of these files have a driver script, particularly one each on them. So let's say for the superhero page, whenever this page uploads, this script will run. You can see the approach of code is a bit more like React, where the code is separated into separate modules, and we are stitching them together with this in-memory data, which we are fetching from the in-memory, like what is the total favorite list of the superheroes, which we are saving. And also in superhero information page, we need to know which superhero was clicked to arrive at this page, the UUID of that superhero. So we are also using that for this particular web page. Once we have that UUID, we run this function where we are running our API fetch calls asynchronously as promises. Whenever all of them finish, then we basically transform that API response, that JSON response, into something which can be used like this in our views. So basically the transformed JSON response is used to generate the superhero information web page. Similar approach is also in the other classes, although there directly we just deal with the superhero list. So yeah, similarly the favorites page. Now, seeing one of these event handlers classes, let's say the favorites one. So event handlers are like what happens when you click a particular favorite button or click a superhero icon. So these kind of functionalities are handled by this particular on-click event handlers, which will either make favorite or open the web page. Similarly, event handlers are also in the index page or the search page, basically, where opening superhero is the same as previous. Favorite is also there, to unfavorite or favorite, but one additional thing was the searching part. So whenever search button is clicked, we get what text was being tried to be searched. If there is no text, then we complain. Otherwise, we move ahead and try to fetch an API response. Once we get a response, again we try to transform it. If there is something transformed, then we try to generate a view. So that's the basic flow. And the classes used are this views class, which has this couple of sections, like the superhero info page. So that page, those event handlers are calling this function, which in turn generates the character info, comic, and series. On the favorite superhero page, that page basically we are using this function, generate favorites v function, and then the search page is just using this function. So and then we have the transformers, which were from JSON response to the response which views needed, and then transformers are actually acting on the API helper class, which is like for the character info API, you just pass a character ID, it interpolates the API URL, and then makes a fetch call. This fetch call is actually just fetching that, getting that response, and then returning the JSON response. So JSON response, transformed, view. This is the general workflow. Thank you.